And we kept trying to tell y'all that Chrisean is a terrible fucking mother and y'all was just trying to have her back and give her so much sympathy. Allegedly, Chrisean's son's medical records got leaked and it's saying that he suffered from withdrawals from when he was pregnant, okay, because I know the baby wasn't doing it, so that means the mama was, and we all saw her smoking and drinking while she was pregnant, okay? The medical records are also saying allegedly that he suffered from fetal alcohol syndrome, meaning that he is being affected from what his mama did, allegedly. Allegedly, it's saying that he also has a seizure disorder, and it's saying a few other things are contributing to the why he's 2 and he cannot walk yet. And even Yancy got on here. We've been trying to tell this girl to get help for her baby. She's talking about pray for her. All the prayers in the world ain't gonna work if you're not taking that baby to go get help.
Lord, what else is new? When they noticed that Croc's child was in the news once more, everyone started to wonder. We seem to already be aware of everything that can be conveyed or learned. Since nothing is worse than injuring your child before he gets a shot at life, many people who are startled by the recently disclosed facts have called Chrisean a terrible mother.
Chrisean's son's medical records leaking and everybody seeing and hearing about what's on them does not cancel her. I don't know what else at this point will. Like, somebody needs to get that little boy out of her care and get him out of her care quick. I tried to give Chrisean the benefit of the doubt because, you know, you're not always the best parent. Not everybody is the best parent, but they might be the best parent for that child. No, she's not the best parent at all. Like, seeing what's on these medical records is making me sick. Like, mind y'all, he didn't ask to be here and she did not have to have.
Junior's system contains both narcotics and alcohol. According to newly made public CPS data, as an illustration, they documented several instances where Chrisean had left her son unattended and in danger, including the time she dropped him off at the beach at 3 in the morning to attend a party, and how he flinches every time she holds up her hand as if something terrible were about to happen to him. In addition, they discovered illicit substances in his system. Poor baby, the issue is actually getting worse. More information comes to light as you believe the crotch drama is almost over, leaving you to question how she got away with it in the first place.
Looking at your son now, what type of legacy do you want to leave behind for him? What do you want him to know about Mom?
How to turn to God. I just want to teach him how to, because there's nothing I could do for him.
You want to know what's making this whole thing even more bizarre? People who are completely clueless about Crone's son still maintain that she did nothing wrong and owes no one anything. But if the newly leaked material is true, Lady Crone needs to quit acting like she's the victim and overcome her victimhood. And as for Chrisean Rock Jr., Crone has never admitted to breaking the law, but her child effectively did it for her. She never quit drinking during her pregnancy, which has raised the possibility that her child suffered fetal alcohol syndrome. But if you felt that was awful, you should wait until you hear this.
As bad as I would want this information that was just put out about Chrisean Jr. to be false, at some point I'm thinking it might be some type truth to it. Because you gotta think, almost 2-year-old child is laying on his back. He's not mobile, so that means he's in diapers. So that means he's sitting in that. So can I believe there were maybe possible breakdown of the skin? I can believe.
Crone may have upset the wrong person, as she often does, because certain medical records that appear to be those of Crone Jr. have been making the rounds online. Jr. may have fetal alcohol syndrome based on these records. Hold on though, because this is where things start to go terribly wrong. He was still experiencing some severe withdrawal symptoms, according to the medical records, and he tested positive for illegal narcotics, including opioids and nose candy. Additionally, it was evident from the documentation that Jr. might have had more chronic problems. As a result of all those medicines, he experienced severe withdrawal symptoms: seizures, stiffness, cortical visual impairment, and neonatal abstinence. Clear vision is a function of the brain that has been damaged, and it's the actual thing. Many have observed that Jr. doesn't appear to react to objects that are right in front of him, even food. Thus, that explains a lot, as much as I hate to say it. As a result, he wouldn't react like a normal 2-year-old and burst into enthusiasm if he were given the same thing.
Like, honestly, I don't know why y'all even give any type of attention whatsoever. We've never even seen Chrisean take Junior to the damn park. The park. And this is only a part of what we see during her entire day. Imagine what that boy gotta go through 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week with Chrisean, because y'all know she don't have no nanny, she don't have no caretaker, because she don't want anybody to know what Chrisean Jr. is going through. That he can't talk, he can squeak, he can't walk, he can't crawl. Like, what is actually going on?
The reports claim that a specialist in physiology, neuropathy, cardiology, orthopedics, and other fields had been providing some assistance to Junior. In another section of the leak, Chrisean Rock admits in private that she drank beer and did nose candy while pregnant. As a result, she is taking on some accountability, albeit privately. It is quite unfortunate that Junior must cope with all of this from the beginning of his existence. However, there is evidence that Junior is receiving assistance from a group of professionals, according to some, which is why CPS hasn't yet visited her. Because of all of this, folks are now really curious as to why this baby is still with Crow. Evidence that she has been hurting him? If a neonate has a history of substance exposures, hospitals are legally obligated to document any suspected prenatal substance exposure. This is a problem. However, it would be extremely taxing for CPS to take newborns immediately whenever there was an issue. Rather, when the hospital reports it, CPS would likely review the case, and if they determined that there was a high likelihood that the infant would not receive the care he needed, intervene and remove him from the situation. She is therefore prepared to leave if the father in this case, Chrisean Rock, agrees to work with her, provides her with the assistance she requires, and creates a secure environment for him to heal. And they'll simply stop over occasionally to make sure everything is still functioning. Is that rational? The fact that Chrisean Rock frequently prioritizes her son's needs over her own, and that she does so in public for everyone to see, is what makes this whole issue interesting. We all remember the times she was spotted not holding her baby boy properly, and the time she left him locked in the car as she argued with Blueface on the phone. Fans even made fun of her not too long ago for abandoning her youngster on the beach to enjoy herself at a beach party at 3 in the morning.
Now what if a wave came up and washed him offshore and he drowned and he got unalived? All because you wanted to go to that party so bad you couldn't find a reliable arrangement, get him a babysitter so he can be properly cared for while you go out 3 a.m. in the morning to go party on the beach. Is it that serious? Some people are just not meant to have kids. I mean, like, I don't like to judge nobody parenting, but she just be doing, she do shit. And it's given like, it's off her clout. She want to stay, she want to be the bud.
And if you thought that Crone's most reckless behavior with her son was abandoning him, you're going to find out that's not the case.
Watch this. Why you run like that? Why you run like that? Why you run like that? He like, hey. Okay.
The bond between Junior and his mother in one of the more recent lifetimes started to draw attention. He started to move and fidget as if he wanted to get out of here as soon as she held up her hands, but Chrisean simply chuckled. People were speculating about whether Junior was having seizures or something else in light of his recent medical report. This isn't settling well at all, though, people. But before she could raise her hand, Croc whispered, "Watch this." And this suggests that she probably realized what would happen when she did that. She needed to take him off the camera to calm him down. Consequently, the internet does not genuinely support the notion that this is a typical response a youngster should have when a hand is raised. An individual even said, "I don't think so, but I've heard some suggest it was a seizure." The fact that he freaked out immediately after she inhaled is not a coincidence. I think so. At the time, the child was frightened. I've never seen him move that way before. It appeared that he was doing everything he could to keep his distance from her. He was even more terrified and started to scream as though he knew what would happen when she turned and properly grabbed him. I can understand why people might say it could be a seizure. But the sad fact is that I do think she is capable of and possibly often harms her own child physically. It is concerned about Junior's continued lack of what seems to be his ideal situation. The street reports that it's far worse than that. Because if we are seeing this, just think of what else is going on that we are not aware of. Chrisean should never have had kids. When we witnessed her being careless during her pregnancy, we all knew she wasn't prepared to become a mother. The medical report is bizarre. In what way may a newborn have 10 different specialists? But he's not going to have any chance. Because he isn't the wealthy baby she was depending on, and because she never wanted him, she is upset with him. She expresses her annoyance, disdain, and shame to him both verbally and physically is hardly surprising. She is an empath. That is evident in her interactions and connections with both people and animals. She likes to make fun of people she thinks are weaker than herself. Junior is no exception. Chrisean Rock has to find a loving home for her child and serve time in prison. The medical records of the baby were the last thing I wanted to read. Today, this is hurtful. Do any of you, though, think the medical report is real? Please share your opinions in the comments section and remember to like and subscribe before watching, as we have a lot to cover in the next episode. I'll see you in the next one.